Everyone, how's everybody doing on this finally Friday? I've got Peyton Langford. Zach will be coming in here shortly. Anna in the background getting ready for Fox 24 News at 9. What would you say, Anna? Was it a Foxy Friday?
Very foxy.
I would say a Foxy Friday today. What we mean by that is the weather was pretty nice and not a whole lot of storms. So this is a really tough weather pattern. I'm going to show you one of the reasons why it's been so difficult. Believe it or not, there's been multiple systems that have missed Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I've got a graphic that shows it perfectly. Before we get to that, are we going to see system number 7 miss Northwest Arkansas? Because number 6 is this one up to the north that's beginning to fizzle out. Now, you can see all those storms in eastern Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma. They're making their way east, but you can see the motion. I can see it. It's moving east-southeast, and eventually will probably turn a little more southerly. We just have to have some more development farther north. As of now, we're not seeing that. So we're going to get into all the details and look at all the forecast information. And so here's one thing that has made this storm system and this pattern really difficult is this ridge of high pressure to our southwest.
Mm-hmm.
And typically you think, well, ridge means quiet weather. Well, it is quiet in the desert southwest. In fact, there's very little cloud cover.
Yeah.
You could see some of the video. There was that video of the goats running loose. So we having that video, by the way, at 9?
I don't think so.
Okay. There was some video of goats running loose in parts of Arizona, and police officers were chasing after them, trying to catch them. It was a pretty funny story. Everything is fine. No goats were harmed in the making of that video. No police officers were harmed, but you could see there wasn't a cloud in the sky. So here's what we've got. We got this ridge of high pressure. North of this high pressure, you've got jet stream energy. Notice how the jet stream energy is dying before it makes it into Northwest Arkansas. Well, that is important because that's what allows these storms to weaken. So all these storms develop in the higher terrain, in the upper plateau, east of the Rocky Mountains, and then all of a sudden you can see them as they're dropping east-southeast, and that's because of the position of the jet stream. So here's this graphic that I was talking about. 5 systems, you could count them, 5 systems dying in Northwest Arkansas. So I'm going to take the camera off the screen, and you can count them with me as we go through the most annoying weather pattern that I have experienced in a long time. Here we go. Ready? Number 1, Sunday night developing. So rain chances were in the forecast for Monday. And let's see how this storm system evolves. There it comes. It's moving east. A few thunderstorms. No, it's gone. That's number 1. Number 2 develops Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Nope, that's gone. 3 is gone. Number 4 comes in. That's dead. Number 5 comes in, which is the one today, and that's dead. Number 6 is that one up north, and number 7 is this one out west. So at this point, Peyton, it's almost laughable, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's way out west and just dying as soon as it gets here.
I think everybody's exhausted in terms of meteorologists around here. So first of all, it's really tough to predict hourly rain forecasts. Lucky number 7. Maybe number 7 is the one that gives us rain. At least that's what's expected. But I'm looking at it. I can see it. It's dropping south again. Let's do that one more time. This time we'll kind of step through it a little slower. So there's number 1. And there's a little bit more of a westerly component. So I was thinking that we would get at least some rain. I didn't think it was going to be a lot on Sunday. And Zach made that forecast. And I don't think he had the rain chances way up there, but gone. I mean, it's almost like an invisible force field. All right, here's number 2. Number 2, the weather was really nice on Tuesday, by the way. And what was expected was a lot of thunderstorm activity. Well, that developed in southeast Oklahoma. And then you had some storms that developed to our east and to our south and to our northwest. And then there's system number 2. Now, number 2 was looking promising.
It was.
There was some strong winds. We had a outflow boundary that moved in, and that sparked off a little bit of additional activity. And then look at that. Number 2's gone. Number 3 is there. But I mean, at that point, you're looking at that going, okay, we're getting some rain.
Yeah, finally some rain.
So what I did the night before is I'm sprinkling down pre-emergent all over my garden, all over my lawn, and the system comes through and that's dead. I mean, at this point, it's just laughable.
Yeah.
System number 4, this was a big one, but we started getting our wits about us saying, you know what? I think this is going to miss as well. I think this is going to remain to the south. So let's show you this as we kind of move along in time. There's system number 4. You can see it kind of making its way east. I've got to do that or it's going to zip forward. Yeah, it always does that. So there's system number 4. That's coming in. Now look at the track of it. The track of it is to the south. Now on the leading edge, there's a little piece of energy. You can see it right over Fayetteville. If I put a pause point on this and, yes, I want to take the walk. Sorry. I know needing rain so very badly. Hayfield buying up, drying up, pastures drying up, ponds getting dangerously low, creeks not running, gardens are hurting, rivers are low, floating is terrible. There's so many other things. This Colby effect seems like a Zelda game. They had it trapped, but it started to break free, surpasses severe storms. Eventually it breaks free, surpasses all the rain. Yeah, I think maybe. I don't know. That kind of sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does the terrain, that's a good question by Brandon, does the terrain of the Ozarks play a factor? It can, and it does. But it doesn't mean that every storm is going to die out and weaken. The reason that this stuff is weakening, remember what I was showing you with that jet stream. The jet stream is not quite making it. The energy isn't quite making it into northwest Arkansas, so those storms are dying out. Joplin, I think you're getting some rain tonight, Deanna. It looks a little more promising for you with that complex to the north. And I'll show you what I mean here real quick, Deanna. But anyways, going back to this, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Here's number 5. What I was going to show you was number 4. Yeah, number 4. I'm going to pause it right here, kind of right in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in a little bit. There were some thunderstorms that popped up, which are right here. See them? Yeah, bunch of them that popped up. In fact, they had over an inch of rain. And then the river valley, that also saw some rain. Put a pause point there, and you'll get to see the river valley. Look at this. Watch the river valley. River valley gets hammered with rain. There's some, there's more, and then there's that flash flood warning that was issued right there for Poto, northwest of Poto, LaFleur County. And that's the rain there and there and there. So there's system number 4. And then number 5, well, missing us to the west. And yeah, it's just never ending. All right. So what's going on tonight? Well, this complex of storms to the west is supposed to make a run for it. What do you think?
I don't know. This one looks a little promising, but man.
You can see the northern edge dropping south.
Yeah, it's already turning.
It's already starting
10,
to turn.
15 degrees towards the south. So.
Yep. Here's some more. So that system currently in western Oklahoma is going to disappoint us too. I personally think so.
Yeah.
So here's why I think so. Let's go back to this ridge. You could see on the jet stream energy. Just look. Don't look at the models because they're terrible. They've been absolutely horrendous. What you need to look at is out the window. There's no better way to look out the window than to look at water vapor, satellite energy like that. So we're looking here, removed all the stuff, the jet stream. You can see the storms popping up and then dropping southeast. Now, will this complex make it? Well, let's look at the satellite radar. And if we put it into motion, I mean, you could just see the way that it's tracking. I think River Valley is going to get clipped if we extrapolate that. But that to me looks like it's going to go that way. Let's see. Yeah, I think that definitely looks like that way.
That's about right.
With the northern edge probably right around here, and Fayetteville might not get any rain at all. I think we do get some. I mean, I was saying this before. If we go all the way through this week and into the weekend without having rain, Peyton and I said we're gonna throw in the towel.
Yeah.
We're
Time
just
to call
gonna.
it-
I'm just
time to
gonna
call it quits
trying to
after
call
that
it quits. Walk out. Just be like, I'm done. We're over. It's finished. We're done. Haven't shown the severe weather risk because I don't necessarily agree with it. There's the dew points right there. So let's just, why not, for grins, look at some of the model data.
Hey, welcome back, Zach.
Hey, what's going on?
That's a joke. I'm laughing because the model data is so bad. So, yeah, first of all, nope, that's not happening. We don't have rain right now. Where are you getting rain? Where are you seeing storms? let me just make sure here. What are you doing? It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Then this is hourly updated. Something's going on.
Right.
I think we're being punked by NSEP. What do you think, man?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, no cap. That's what NSEP's doing.
Yeah. I wrote a little
Cap.
weather blog talking about how
Yeah.
a little bit about how models work and why they're wrong recently. It doesn't provide any helpful solutions because I don't work at INSEP. But yeah,
Hey.
it just talks a little bit about what goes into a computer model and how they kind of work and
Numerical
why they're
guidance.
Very, very bad right now.
Oh, here's someone that said we had a couple pop-up thunderstorms, had some nice rain here in Southeast Springfield.
Yeah.
Not only did you have nice rain, you actually have
Severe.
some flooding.
Yeah.
Check this
Flooding right
out.
now.
So this is what we call observed flooding, flash flooding. So there it is in Springfield. Yeah, you got some nice rain for sure. Might have even caused some localized flooding. All right, so back to guidance. We'll see. So I just want to go back to the radar because I want to make sure that, yeah, there's no storm. No storm southeast of Russellville. That's not happening. There's no rain. There's no storms. That's not happening. None of that's happening. Here comes this complex, and it, says some of it comes into the Northwest Arkansas area. I would love that. If that comes to fruition, if I hear some rumbles of thunder at 6 a.m., I'll be jumping for joy. I'll be outside, covered, of course. And if there's too much lightning, I'll go back inside. But that would be amazing if that actually happened. What do you think, Zach?
Nope, I do not want that.
You don't want that?
Nope.
Well, what do you think it's going to happen? Nope.
I don't know. I mean, the past 5 nights they've just been dying out.
Yeah.
So why not just continue that?
I think River Valley
Yeah.
is going to get some stuff during the late night, early morning. But Northwest Arkansas, that's more of a question.
That is iffy. Why does radar show rain and it's not raining? Well, that's the future track rain. That's future track. This is a model that's showing rain and it's not. Oh yeah. Radar Omega is good. I don't use it because I'm kind of in the habit of using Radar Scope, but Radar Omega does have some very awesome features. So yeah, no doubt about that. Colby effect has become more reliable. Well, actually, or just the exact opposite, anti-reliable in terms of needing rain. I mean, Colby effect is getting so strong, we don't even get rain anymore. That's a problem. We might have to drive them out. Is this all because of we're in an El Nino? So that's a good question.
Yes and no. Like the last time we had a similar weather pattern to this was when we were transitioning from La Nina to El Nino. So it just depends on how long those transition phases before we're in like a full El Nino. And the last time we had a pretty long transition phase was summer of 2008 and kind of into 2009. So there's a long transition phase, and that's where we had a weird pattern like this. So that's the most recent example I can think of. So it's just that transitional period. Now, once we're in a full El Nino, then that's when we'll see a lot more activity out in the Gulf and with hurricane season coming around. Yeah.
So does El Nino typically means lesser hurricanes, right? It's not as active because you have a subtropical jet. A lot of the storms steer out to sea.
Yeah, a lot of energy from Africa into the Gulf of Mexico that is less, but there is more that comes from the Pacific side.
Yeah,
And
Pacific,
sometimes
yeah.
it'll make it over Mexico and then form in the Yucatan Peninsula.
That's true
around there.
too. Yeah, you get those westerlies, sometimes remnant lows that can do that too. Let's go to this because I want to show you El Nino. Someone asked about this. Well, what is El Nino first of all? How does it affect our winter? Well, it also affects our summer too when we get into a transition. But there's a look at the equator. And so what happens is you have warmer than normal. That's not showing like 80, it's not showing the color temperatures of the water. That's warmer than normal Pacific Ocean sea surface temperatures near the equator. So west of South America, that's where you have those warmer than normal conditions. Now, what does that do to our weather pattern here? That's exactly what it does. It takes the subtropical jet, which is exactly what we're seeing. Granted, it shifts a little bit here and there, but that's a look at how the subtropical jet becomes a lot more active. Typically, you get a ridge of high pressure over the summertime, and then that's not what we're seeing. So that persistent, extended Pacific jet stream, which is what leads to so much rain. Now, there's also other teleconnections. It's not just all El Nino driven, like you mentioned. But there it is, very wet and very dry, but it's also not even dry across the northern U.S. And that's because the jet stream is a little farther north. So anyways, that's kind of how all of that looks. So I thought that graphic might be helpful for some. I see you guys from Springfield, Missouri. Now, do you see us from Springfield on YouTube or actually antenna? We might need to expand our viewing coverage area.
Yeah.
Add another 12 counties in southwest Missouri. No, we're not going to do that.
No.
Neosho had a few scattered storms. We asked the 8-ball earlier. Let's see if it changes its mind. It said, what did it say? My sources say no, I think is what it said. Will it rain in northwest Arkansas overnight tonight and into Saturday? Yes, definitely. Okay. Changed its mind.
Last time.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna beat it again.
Okay. What do you say?
Yeah, I say it's gonna die out.
You say it's gonna die out entirely?
Oh, not entirely.
Like we don't see any rain?
Trace amounts. Just a little bit.
There is a good part of that. I'm loving the temps too.
Yeah, all the cloud cover. Keeping temperatures nice in the lower to middle 80s for northwest Arkansas. Not quite 90 in the River Valley.
Hi, Amanda. Hope you're doing well. Why are we breaking weather heat records this month? Well, that's something that came from NSEP. You actually looked at that, and you could check that out. There's going to be more hottest ever temperatures because we're going to continue to warm over the summer. So
yeah, it was just the average global temperature. So the entire temperature across the globe was 62 degrees. That means from Antarctica to the Sahara Desert. Over the entire world, the average temperature was 62 degrees. And of course, as we get into the summer, that's obviously going to change.
Yeah. Meaning there's going to be another one. This year isn't anything I've heard of. Very similar to 2009. June 2009 was very active, southern U.S. And 20 to 30 days in June had severe weather reports in the southern. I remember correctly that led to a fairly active winter. It did lead very active was 2010. Last year was horrid. The temps have not been bad here either. Last year wasn't terrible, but I mean, we got a lot more winter left. It'll get hot next week. So this is the 3-kilometer graph. Wow. That's a lot of rain.
I can see that happening, but all of that shifted down towards the River Valley.
Yeah. That's not where it's supposed to be. Well, we only got a few more minutes here. So
3.
Huh?
So you have 3 minutes.
That's a few.
Yeah.
Some. We have some more minutes. Here's a future track. So this is the 4-kilometer. And I think we need to drop the rain for the second half of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I also think maybe a little less. Let's do one more here. Let's look at we already looked at the NAM. We just don't have as many models as other things. I didn't even look at the European. What did it show?
Don't look at it.
Probably shows a smorgasbord of severe weather. Yeah. Whatever. And one more. Comedy hour. It's time for the GFS. We'll see. Of course, it has this right now. It has all this ton of rain in eastern Oklahoma. So, latest timing, real quick. Last thing we're going to look at. I'm not right off the top, right, Anna? Okay, but I'm close.
Yeah.
We're going to adjust these numbers here. See how it says 70%? We're going to drop that off, I think, during the second half of the day. Who said it's going to rain 3 inches in Fayetteville? Not us.
No, definitely not.
Definitely
us.
not us. Comedy Hour should be the new Texas Tech WRF. No
Yeah.
kidding. That's so bad. Happy Friday. Absolutely. I am doing well. I'll be better when this pattern quiets down and we actually have a little easier predictions coming our way because this has been really tough. If you missed it, watch the replay. I show 5 systems dying out. I'll also do the same thing on the news tonight. Okay, guys, I got to run. We got to use the studio. Anna, you ready for Fox 24 News at 9?
I'm so ready. Minute out.
And I'm a minute out, so I got to go. We'll see you. Have a great Friday. Rest of your Friday, only 3 hours left. If something changes dramatically after the 10, we'll let you know about it. Keep it here with your Weather Authority.